So obviously 12 second half turnovers seemed like that was what kind of led to the wheels coming off. Just what did you kind of see lead to some of those? Basically, where did you see kind of the offense in general just go haywire in particular?
Well, Portland's playing at an extremely high level. They've been, if not the best defensive team in the league over the last 10 or 11, 12 games, they've been right up there. And they were very physical, and you got to give them credit. I mean, they dictated the physicality in the game. They kicked us on the boards. The turnovers looked even, but the points off turnovers was a big difference in their favor. And so, actually, the points off turnovers were they were in their favor. And so, look, we just we weren't gonna. We hung around, and every time we'd get close, they'd hit us with a flurry, and a lot of it was the physicality, and the home crowd was tough. It was good for them, and we didn't play well.
You just talked about what they did on defense, the length they have. It obviously seemed like they were using Kamara to kind of face guard Ty and try to take him out of the game. I mean, just sometimes you guys have been able to take advantage of that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't agree with some of the things that they allow people to do to Ty. When they're bear hugging him off the ball and they don't blow the whistle, that bothers me. And there were conversations about that, but they created a situation where the tempo and the physicality was dictated by them, and so we were behind the curve, and so we simply have got to be better. We've got to be more persistent. We got to play with more attitude, and we didn't do it.
I think you're 5 of 24 for 3. I think you were one of your first 10. I mean, did you kind of show some signs of, one, being a second night of a back-to-back, but two, some kind of collect?
Well, they played an overtime game last night.
Right, sure.
So I mean, what are we talking here? If anything, we should have been the team with the advantage, even though we traveled. We played earlier and everything else. We didn't play well. We settled early a few times when we shouldn't have. We got down early, had to dig out of a hole. It's not how you want to play on the road. I mean, you've got to set a tone. You've got to play with attitude, and you got to be consistent. And we were not.
I mean, just to start with you first, how did you just feel coming back?
I mean, there's no excuses, bro. At the end of the day, I was a little tired, but who isn't? It wasn't my performance I wanted to have, but I also didn't want to miss the game. So, and I'm always, if I'm healthy, I'm good enough to go. I'm always put myself on the line.
What did you kind of see just go haywire in the third in particular? It seemed like that's when the turnovers picked up. I think you guys had 12 in the second half. What did they do to kind of get you guys out of what you wanted to do, and where do you feel like you guys went wrong in terms of just putting the ball in?
You got to give the guys some credit, bro. They're a hard playing team. They had their they had their low points, but they're starting to turn it around. I think Chauncey's a terrific coach. I've always been a fan of his. So he's doing well over there for those guys. Guys pick up full court. Kind of taking a little bit of our secret sauce, but the future looks good for them. They continue just to get better, and we just kind of got hit over the head tonight.
How much does their length make them tough to deal with? Obviously, they go 6'8", 6'7", all across the board. It seems like even when you guys were able to get the ball in the rim, it was kind of tougher to finish. Basically, how tough does that make it just to score on them, even especially when your shots aren't going in?
They're big across the line. I think that second line of back-to-back guys just miss shots. Call it what it is, heavy legs, travel, whatever you want to call it. But there's no excuse in this league. We kind of just got hit over the head with the schedule.
I was going to say, are you seeing cumulative effect overall? I mean, going back to Paris and obviously going from, God knows how many time zones you guys have been in over the last 2 weeks. Do you see that? Do you see some cumulative effect there with the shooting?
Like I said, I know we're tired, but at the end of the day, in this league, it's no excuses. You got to show up, put your hard hat on, and go to work. Plenty of people wake up every morning, 6 a.m., go to work when they're tired. So, we kind of got the same responsibility. So, we kind of just take for what it is. We'll get our rest tonight, and then we'll be ready to go in L.A.